Do we already have a king of the meta in Warcraft Rumble PvP? A lot of people would probably make the case that we already do, and that it is going to be Baron Rivendare. So what I'm going to do in this video is talk about some of the reasons why Baron Rivendare is so popular in PvP, and then how you can take advantage of this by playing Baron well in PvP, and then also some of the things you're going to want to consider when you're going against Baron, because that will happen in probably like 30, 40, 50% of your games. You're going to be going up against this guy in PvP, especially once you rank up a little bit. And I know it's launch weekend, so a lot of you may be extremely new, but Baron Rivendare is going to be a leader. You'll see your leaders up top, and you can kind of scroll through and play through the different leaders as you unlock them via your choice. Now, I do have a video where I rank every single leader for beginners and progression early in the phases of your account, and then I rank them on a full tier list dedicated video discussing all of them individually. I'll link to that down below if you want to see all of the leaders talked about. But for Baron, what makes him so strong is going to be the ability right here, the leader ability, Army of the Dead, where he is going to periodically summon skeletons at buildings you control. So when you are starting a PvP match, this means you'll typically have skeletons going down in 2 different directions by default. And you don't even have to claim new area or overtake anything to get that effect. It's just going to be passively happening from the very beginning. And then there's even a talent in here where you can summon skeletal mages instead of warriors, which is called Chill of the Grave. Now, all of these are pretty good. You're probably going to want to go with either Death Pact or Chill of the Grave. It just kind of depends on the style you're playing. It can be nice to get those constant heals, but a lot of people maybe don't even use Baron a ton. They're mainly just picking him for the leader ability of constantly spamming those skeletons all over the map, because it helps with so many things like controlling gold nodes and preventing your opponent from just sending out a miner for cheap and getting good value. They have to constantly worry about these skeletons, and you kind of have your skeletons policing things while also just contributing to defense and pushes. So when we're building a deck with Baron Rivendare, we can't really use Baron as a massive frontline tank, even though there is a trait here indicating that he is a tank. He's not some huge HP pool. You can see here of 2970 on my Baron. And if I go into another tank here in my deck in Stonehoof, you can see the massive difference of the 5400 HP on my Stonehoof as opposed to the 2900 on Baron. But Baron is fast and can reinforce a push very quickly while providing some elemental DPS. So definitely not trash for the cost of 4, but what makes Baron strong is not really necessarily his capabilities on the battlefield. It's going to be the different passive effects from those skeletons spawning all over that makes him a nuisance. But he does have elemental damage, so you can do pretty well in the front line as long as Baron isn't taking a bulk of the pressure. So you're usually going to want to pair him with some other melee option in your deck. That way you're not relying on Baron to always be the front line. Unless you want to go with like a super spammy style where you're taking 2 or 3 different lanes at once. You don't want to do like a direct fight with Baron as the main melee beef of your front line. And because of how cool Baron's passive is, there's lots of different playstyles you can kind of do around showcasing Baron as an effective leader. What I'm going to show you in this one is trying to synergize with those skeletons. I'm bringing a Necromancer right here that is also going to be an undead summoner, so we can really spam the map. And then since I'm already kind of playing a control style with those skeletons and with those summons, I want to bring my Drake, who is also going to have a talent that summons whelp eggs periodically and just kind of gives me more passive control on the map. And then I'm going to take advantage of that passive control on the map by sending out my Defias Bandits that can do the pick lock talent by starting to snowball my gold economy. As long as I'm better than my opponent at managing all this different stuff going on, I can drop a Quillbore to soak up some of the splash damage that they'll have from ranged DPSers if I want my skeleton mages or my Griffin or something to rain down pain. Or I can take down their miner if they're doing a good job of escorting their miners to the gold nodes and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and queue up a few PvP matches and showcase Baron. Okay, so here we go. We are loading in. Let's do a couple matches, and I'll talk about what's going through my head and kind of cast while I'm playing here. So the goal with Baron is I do want to control the middle here because of the way I'm playing with these Defias Bandits. I definitely want to control these chests. So I'm going to charge forward with that. I'm going to control the middle with some of the Drakes. You can see the skeletons already popping out. I want to force them to deal with my miner on the left because they're not going to be doing that right now. And then Do I need a beefy? They're mining right there. That's okay because I'm mining as well. Let me go ahead and tank that right there. So let's go ahead and have the Banshee steal that so I can keep winning the middle. And I may have to send Baron down the middle. I want to keep controlling that right here with a double melee. You kind of want to send Baron second almost instead of it coming into engage right here. That'll be a good one for you to see. Does decent damage. I'm not playing optimal here because I'm trying to talk, but I can let these harpies fly into my tower. I don't want to waste a unit on engaging those. I'm okay with those raptors slamming into that. I want to get a push going here down the left side. I want to take a chest that's going to spawn right there with my Defias bandits, and I'm going to use my Quill Boar to tank for the different stuff that I'm dropping right here. I control the middle pretty well. They just had to drop a blizzard, so they're getting behind on gold. And as long as I tank effectively with my Quill Boar here on the tower, I'm going to feel pretty good about my spot. I need to go down the middle again. Let's go with more whelp eggs down the center. That is going to hurt. Let's go ahead and stun that right there so they can't take my tower down. They've got more of those dropping. That's a bunch of ground units. So I'll drop a Griffin down there. I should take this down after we tanked it with the Quill Boar. And now we've got a pretty forward spawn. Now look how much stuff I have just kind of spamming all over the map. I'm going to try to steal some gold over here. It's okay that I lost this tower on the right. Totally fine. I can just charge in and take that very easily. If I turn this here, tank that with Stonehoof, and we'll start a push kind of going down all lanes. But look at the flood right there. If you just kind of manage the different lanes, you get a good engagement in the middle to get started. You should be in a really good spot with the skeletons kind of passively controlling everything on the map. But okay, let's fire up another one and see what we can do here. And here we go, loading in, and we're going to try the same thing. It can change a little bit depending on the RNG of what gets dealt in your deck. So let's see what we're going to have. We may go double melee with Baron kind of catching up. Remember, you don't want to send Baron kind of in the front line. You want something else to go first, like this right here. They're going to have Jaina. Okay, so they're coming through with a Ricochet. I want to tank that if I can, like so. Let's control with some whelp eggs. I want to force them to deal with my miner, like so. And we're going to be able to take that down. That is very nice. They're not going to have any air control here in the middle. We're going to lose that 1v1. They do have a Jaina right there. I don't have anything to deal with that, but I can mine some gold. Sorry, I'm talking super fast. I'm just trying to kind of get through everything. I do want to charge into the Jaina, so I'm going to start building up a push here in the middle. I don't want to lose that. I want to prevent them from taking that. I'm going to tank Jaina, ideally, then move forward here. I wanted Stone up to get the charge off. Okay, good. We got the charge off. And then I need to deal with that Griffin. That's going to be a pain, but I should be able to get the chest. Ooh, and they dropped a miner right there. That's a big win for me. We're in a pretty good spot right here. Getting the gold, and if I can... I'm not going to be able to steal that. Okay, so they committed here on the right. They charged into my miner. That's not good. We got some whelp eggs down the center. I need to win this over here on the right. They don't have anything to deal with my Griffin, so we'll drop that. We have a skeleton down there. I want to maybe take some chests here if I miss it. Let's tank that and see if a skeleton can get in there. Drop for the econ on the left side. I could have probably went down the right side, actually. And I was hoping those bandits would hit that chest, but they were just a little bit too early. So I kind of messed that up. But we got the stealth and the stun. And this is why the Defias bandits are so damn good. Look at that. Did they win that 1v1? That would have been crazy. That would have been game over if they won that. And yeah, I was just a little bit early. Look at them controlling all of that gold. That is brutal for me. And charge into the Huntress. That'll be an easy kill right there. And we should start controlling the middle. But this is not going anywhere near as well because I lost all that gold. We're just going to have to take that into the tower. That Griffin being a massive pain. We got it with the whelp eggs. I need to keep those whelp eggs in the center for sure. And I also need to escort my miner right here. Let's escort my miner. If I can steal that, it'll get me back into the game. Don't feel great about where I'm sitting right now. I want to control with a Taran. Okay, we're winning right there. I'm stealing that. That should be good. We'll get a Necro. I need to be prepared to soak up damage if they get a bunch of splash. Now we're starting to kind of snowball. There we go. We claimed that. Let's push down here. I don't really want to lead with a Baron. I'm going to have to use my Quill Boar to tank for my Baron. And we're going to drop that right now. Like so. That's okay. We can push with that. They're going to lose their stealth. I may be able to drop my bandits into a chest here in the middle. And scoop up 1 or 2 gold here with my miner. Come on, give me that chest. Let me have the timing right one time. Can I get the timing right? Can't quite do it. Let's Let's go down the middle here with the whelp eggs again. We're mining. That's good. Skeletons are spawning in, and we took enough control to kind of snowball there eventually. It wasn't great at the start, but we had a really good second half. You can see it gets tough for the opponent to keep up with the constant barrage of things going on in all of the different lanes. That's why you don't even really need to play Baron as a mini specifically. That passive ability is just so strong, and it's hard to keep up with consistently for a few minutes perfectly. And then remember, I talked about some things to consider when you're going up against Baron, or what Baron may be weak against. So Baron is going to be a little bit more of a control the map kind of play style with those constant skeletons going everywhere. So ideally versus Baron, you would take down one of those checkpoints. If you can take down the tower on that side, now all of a sudden they're only getting skeletons from their main, and it becomes a lot easier to deal with because you're not getting skeletons in multiple directions. So I would say maybe push really hard down a lane and steal one of those objectives, and it's going to be hard for Baron to probably engage you face to face because Baron as a leader is a melee character, but isn't going to be super amazing in a melee battle if you're just clashing with a bunch of gold in the middle in a 1v1 engagement. Baron kind of wants to scoot around and control everything. So maybe try to win big engagements, steal one of the objectives so you're only facing skeletons from the main location, and then you should be in a pretty good spot to let yourself snowball a long-term advantage. So there we have it, and remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Warcraft Rumble content. I've got a lot of videos headed your way very soon here. I appreciate you watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.